God. Ask God.
Hi, Scott. This is Bobby from New Jersey. My question has to do with strategy. So I can't really find any flaws or downsides in starting with the $500 test. And what I refer to that is, it was mentioned in your book, and it was also mentioned over in the Facebook group, of starting a product with a short, minimal budget of $500, just doing a handful of products in your inventory and doing pay-per-click ads without any reviews or anything. So basically just buying a quantity of, like a low quantity of 50, putting it out there and getting it listed and putting some ads to it and just seeing if it will sell, sort of validating the concept with a very minimal budget of $500 and a very minimal inventory. Are there any downsides to starting this way with every single product rather than starting a little bit more traditional, as in the way you teach it, with buying a few hundred products up front and dedicating 100 or so for giveaways, and doing the whole 9 yards? What are the pros and cons of those two different strategies, I guess, is my question. Thanks for doing what you do, and I'll keep listening.
Hey, Bobby from New Jersey. Thank you so much for the question. And you know what? This is a really, really good question, because I do talk about, going to AliExpress and doing this $500 challenge, as some of you may or may not have heard me talk about. And I do talk about that in my Kindle book. If you guys have not read that yet, it's very affordable. I believe right now, currently, it's $2.99. And it's really a recap of a lot of stuff that I've covered in the podcast. And one of the things in there was one of the posts that was inside of the Facebook group. And actually, Chris Gaston, who posted all about his $500 challenge. That book can be found at theamazingseller.com/book. And like I said, it just lays everything out inside the book in a written form and really just condensed everything down. But to kind of elaborate on that, that strategy isn't for everyone, right? I mean, it's not for everyone, because to me, if you do your research and you go through the entire process of finding a product, you could do exactly what you said, the second way, or the second strategy, which more of the traditional way, is to where you're building more of a unique product or a bundle of some kind. And then from there, you're ordering enough to do a traditional launch. Okay. Yeah, that is the way I prefer to do things, I'll be honest. But with that being said, and this is something I'm going to be experimenting in 2016 with, is actually taking very similar to the AliExpress. And it doesn't even necessarily have to be AliExpress. It just needs to be you're buying a lower quantity. And here's the way that it would work. Let's say that there's 5 products that you're interested in and that you think could possibly sell. So you might order 50 of each of those, right? And you might spend $1,000, let's say, to do this. But you're going to be able to take 5 products, put them up on Amazon, and then you're going to be able to just turn on Amazon pay-per-click with basically hardly any reviews at all. Like if you have like 4 or 5 reviews, that's fine. Maybe you have none. Now I know Rich Kibble, who was one of our early adopters in our private label classroom, who's actually crushing it right now. His whole mindset is when he launches a product, he turns on pay-per-click like day one. And when he does that, if he gets like a sale right away, he knows it's going to be a hot product. Right? He just knows it, right? It's almost like he proves to himself that the product's going to do well by him just running some pay-per-click, getting it in front of the right people, and him getting a sale. So that validates it for him like in a hurry. Now, he's already maybe purchased 800 or 1,000 units, so that just makes him feel good that he doesn't have to do a ton more work to start getting sales. But it works the same way. If you had 5 products of only 50, you can do the same exact thing. And that's kind of what Chris Gaston was saying, was he took the product, he put it up there, he ran some pay-per-click to it, he started getting some sales, and he's seen that, okay, Now I know that if I can get this in front of the eyeballs, because he immediately got in front of the eyeballs by running pay-per-click, he was able to start seeing that he could get sales. Now, if he ran it through, then the second phase of this is the traditional way. Now he took that concept and that product and he said, okay, I'm going to buy 500 units now, and I'm going to run through the entire launch process where I'm going to give 100 of them away. And then I'm going to start running the pay-per-click more on a regular basis. And now from there, I can start to get my organic sales. Well, that's like the second phase of the first phase, right? But it's a way for you to put 5 products up and go, there's one that's a winner and 4 of them that are losers. We're going to cut the losers and we're going to focus on the winner. So that's really that strategy. And that's how I'll be using it in the future to test products almost like overnight in a sense, because you can get those really, really quickly. And yes, you're going to pay a little bit more for the AliExpress products. You're right, because, and I say you're right, and people have said that to me. They're like, Scott, but you pay more on the AliExpress. You do, but you're able to test products quicker. So this way here, it doesn't even matter if you made money on those. What really matters is that you validated it before you spent the money up front to order 1,000 units and then go through the traditional launch process. But both ways will work. I've done the traditional way. It works really well, but it's also a little bit more risky because you're buying a bunch more upfront. You really just need to understand the market you're going into, the product that you're launching, and if you can differentiate it. So this way here, if you can get in front of the right audience and the right buyer, that you're going to be able to make sales. So that is my long-winded answer there to that. Again, I appreciate that question, and I think that it's a good one, and allowing me to explain it, because I didn't really think to explain it because I didn't think of it that way. But for me to be able to explain it here, I think will be helpful to you, but also to everyone that is listening. So thanks for submitting that, and good luck to you, and keep me posted. Let me know what you decide to do and kind of how it works for you. All right. So, and the other thing I just want to say too is, like, when you do this, let's say that you did the AliExpress route where you're going to do the test kind of thing, and then from there do traditional. You're also going to learn the process. It also allows you to learn the process without a huge upfront investment. So this way here, you can figure all of the different moving parts out as you go through, and you're going to learn what you need to do differently, or what you might have missed in your research, or any of that stuff. So it's going to force you to go through the process. You can sit here and listen to how everything's going to happen and how everything's going to go down, but we can't say for sure how it's going to work for you and your product and your launch, right? You just don't know until you go through the process. So this is a great way to get your feet wet in this type of business. And also, it's a low risk way of doing it in the beginning, especially if you don't have the capital to really go through that traditional process. So if you guys have questions like this that you want answered on an upcoming Ask Scott session, head over to theamazingseller.com/ask. Again, that's theamazingseller.com/ask. The other thing I wanted to do is remind you, if you guys wanted to know step by step how to go through the 5 phases of picking a product, sourcing a product, doing a pre-launch, a launch, and a promotion phase, you can head over to my free private label course. And you can find that by going over to www.freeprivatelabelcourse.com. Again, that's freeprivatelabelcourse.com. It's a 10-day course. So what's going to happen is you'll register for it. From there, you'll get an email explaining what we'll be covering. And then from there, every single day for the next 10 to 12 days, you'll be getting an email from me that will walk you through each and every phase. It'll give you a video and some downloads and all of that good stuff. So definitely head over and register for that free private label course. And again, the Facebook community is thriving. It's growing. It's just a great place to be. Head over there as well if you are not already connected. And you can find that by heading over to theamazingseller.com/F as in Frank, B as in boy. Well, hey there. Thank you so much for listening to that episode of Ask Scott. Now, that was just a highlight from one of our full episodes where I generally answer 3 to 4 questions on a podcast.
if you want to go back and listen to all of the past archives of not just the Ask Scott session, but all of the full episodes where I do interviews with top Amazon sellers, people starting from scratch and building a business, if you want to listen to any of those episodes, head over to theamazingseller.com and you can find all of that over there. You can also find details there on how you can ask your own question and get it aired on an upcoming Ask Scott session and possibly see it here on YouTube or just on the podcast. All right, so definitely head over to theamazingseller.com. There's tons of resources over there for you to be able to build your e-commerce and Amazon business, so definitely go check that out. Now, I just wanted to remind you one thing before I let you go. There's a lot of information out there, and some of it is really, really good. But what I want you to remember is you have to not just consume the information, you have to actually apply that information. So take this information that you learned here today and apply it to your business, and this way here you can get results. As my shirt says, I wear it almost daily. Take action. We'll see you guys.